Well, it's about time to get some steering installed on this Beast Wars build. Stick around. Welcome back to the channel. Weekend once again. As you may noticed, I finally got some shirts and hats. Nothing for sale merch-wise, but I did pick some stuff up for the channel just so we have stuff to wear and be nice. That'd be fun to do. Anyways, back to the rig here. Worked all week on doing some oddball stuff and designed the high steer arms. Got them cut out and I got them welded on. And I'll show you what I did, but I want to be big caveat here. The way I did it is not the best way to do it. So let me show you what I did. Here's my high steer arms, and the best way to do these is to completely strip the nut hole, take it off the axle, take the hub out of it, everything else, ball joints even. Heat the darn thing up to 400 degrees with a map or a acetylene torch, and then weld your brackets in. I did not do it this way. What I did was I assembled it. Of course, it was all cleaned up, and I heated the area where I was going to weld with the map gas. And I first came in and tacked the lower plate to the DOM out here to hold it in position, and then tacked it to the knuckle itself, pulled the bolt. Oh, I also welded this side plate as well, and then pulled the top plate and the bolt and put the bolt back in, and then I burned in the lower plate and the side plate, and while it was still hot, I took a peening hammer and peened the welds as best I can. And then I went and put the top plate back on, welded across here, peened everything again, and then I wrapped it with a heat blanket and let it cool down. Now I still got a weld around here, but that's not a big deal. It's so far out, it's not going to change anything. But that's how I did it. That's not the correct way to do it. But I didn't feel like spending 2 days taking this axle apart, stripping everything. I am a bit of a time crunch here, so I fully admit it's 100% not the right way. That said, she'll hold. On to the steering, I got the Astro box, took it to work, drilled and tapped it for hydro assist. You can see the fittings right there. Those are JIC6 to quarter MPT. That's what the box was tapped to. If you want a really good video on how to tap a saginaw style steering box for hydro assist, you can check out Matt's channel, Bleepinjeep, or his website, bleepinjeep.com, and look under the steering section, because he offers these boxes pre-done in exchange. I think he does a core charge. You have to check his website. But anyway, he's got a really good video on how to take apart a saginaw steering box so you can drill and tap it. Once again, I 100% did it the wrong way. I took it to work where I have a very large vise, and I had the steering box pretty much turned almost completely upside down, drilling up. And so I did my holes doing that way, so all the shavings came out, hit it with a shop vac, cleaned them out, tapped it the same way. 100% the wrong way. But if you're careful, it'll work. Again, I've taken saginaw boxes apart. There's a bit of a science to it. All the balls in the recirculation valve, they are actually two different sizes, and they're actually two different colors. Usually one's dark, one's light. And you got to stack them alternately. So it'd be dark ball, light ball, dark ball, light ball, until you load that recirculation valve back up together. 100% a pain in the butt. I decided I wasn't taking that time to do it. Again, in a time crunch. So the box is on. Now it has So this is an Astro box, so it's got a 6-inch straight arm. And I'm trying to go figure out what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'll use this one or not. So we're working on now. So I got the knuckles parallel to each other. Just simple pieces of aluminum, hole drilled in them and tightened up, and then run tape measure across front to back, making them the same. This should be parallel to each other. So I've got my front heims in here, and I need a piece of tube cut 47 inches, and we'll get that welded in, and I'll get the cross steer tube cut. And then once I make sure the axle is centered under the chassis here, I'll get my distance for the steering arm, drag link, whatever you want to call it. Either way, this steering link. But that's what we're up to right now. I'll sit you guys up on a stand, and we'll get this tube cut and tacked in place. Be right back. So I need a bar 47 inches long. Normally I cut it on my saw, but it's all in there, and I've got no way of hanging this thing's too long. So let's do it with a cut-off wheel. There, need to chamfer the ends. Grinding disc. All right, so they were cut there, chamfered. Knock out the pieces on the inside here. So I get my tube in. Hang tight, everybody. Do that with flap wheel. That cleans the ends. I'll see if I can get this thing together. I got so much stuff in my way. Let's bring it out of the way over here. Get these guys out of the way. Roll that trip hazard out of the way. There we go. That one's on all the way. All right, let's get you a new camera angle. Show what we're doing here. Phew. All right, so there's the crossbar, cross steering bar. She's in place. We're so square here. Now I need to lay some string lines down and get myself sure that I'm square left to right on the frame here. And once I do that, I'll take my measurement and get this second bar cut. And now I get the steering done. From what I can see, and I'll show you guys here in a minute, the 6-inch bar is really, really good. It's I'm parallel to the cross shaft, and I'm parallel to the axle. Pretty close anyway. But I really do need that drop. So I'll see how this works with the 6, with the Astro Pitman, and see how my throw is left to right, see how well that lines up. And if see if I need to go longer or shorter. XJ is like 5.5, a WJ is 6.5. There's no 2-inch drop that I know of or I'm aware of, but those are the 3 that I'm most common with. I'm sure I could come up with something that might work, you know, Dodge or Chevy, whatever, might have the one I'm looking for, 6-inch with a 2-inch drop. I'll have to look. Or I could always fabricate my own, and frankly, with everything else I got going on, I'd rather just have a bolt-in. Not running that big of tires anyway, only 37s. I can always build it up later if I choose, you know, to do something bigger on this, you know, 40s or whatever. We'll see what happens. But for right now, I need to get the string line set up and get this axle centered. So I'll rejoin you then. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so what I did was I taped the string on either side, here, and then I used my toe brackets. And I just measured from the distance from the string to the toe bracket on each side, and then ran the links in and out to where I got it centered. And I'm roughly within 1/8 at the moment, which is good enough for what we need to do here. This will obviously have some adjustment built into it. Oh, let me sit down here. And don't mind me, guys. I don't know what's going on today, but I woke up this morning, but my back didn't. So let's see. I do not have a pen. Need a marker. Where'd my marker go? Where's my marker? Here's a marker. So I've got to double check my steering is straight. So it should be 1 turn, quarter. All right, so that gets it straight. So it's centered. Let's see where we need to be here on this piece of tube. And right about here's good. Get it cut, chamfered, put it in place, and I'll rejoin you guys then. Oh, welcome back. So I got the steering tubes all cut, and they're tacked together. They're down on the floor over here. Bobby stopped by, give me a hand here. He's gonna weld my truss in for me, and these mounts. Give me my back a little bit of a break, and he'll weld up the steering for me. Now, one thing I have noticed is with the steering arm I currently have, which is the Astro, I have about 7 3/4 inches of throw. The axle itself has about 9 3/4, actually 7.5 and 9 3/4 is what I have. So the axle moves 9 3/4 left to right, stop to stop. The steering box, when it's hooked up to it, only allows about 7 3/4. side to side. So definitely going to have to rework the pitman arm to get more throw out of it. Another thing I'm going to look into is how much drop. I think 3-inch drop will work just fine. The next thing is the old ram that I had that came off my blue rig is an 8-inch length throw, and that's not going to work. So now, if I want to do hydro assist, I'm going to have to pick up a cylinder, and I'm going to have to go through the budget to see if I can make that work, or if I'm going to run without one. But anyway, we're welding up here, getting this truss in. We should have this thing steering here shortly. Stick around. Welcome back to the channel. It's the following day. I can't exactly remember where I left off yesterday, but I think it was with my son doing some finish welding on the front axle. And as you can see, we've got her installed. Got her steering links welded up. And she is on the ground for the first time on all 4 of her new shoes since we started this build. This is how she looks. I did roll her outside earlier today and cleaned it, blew it off, and swept and cleaned the garage. So the floor is clean because it was a grinding dust mess. Did put in this bar today while I was outside. Still got to weld off here. Got all my material stacked back up. Got the old blue sitting here. Sad face. The tire's still not holding air after we patched it up. So I got to figure out what's going on with that again. And it's another hot day. It's like 91 degrees. Humidity isn't so bad though, but it's still hot. Anyways, from here, now we have her actually as a roller. Is I need to go front to back here with the floor clean, find any welds I've missed, and then I've got some fish plates I got to put in, and then I got to start working on this transmission tunnel. I've got up front left, I've got shock hoops for the front and some sort of support for the nose to do, and some upper radiator mounts. Brake lines, brakes, I got to weld the diff, flush everything with new fluids. Back is already a traction lock. I'm just going to let her go with that for now. She'll need brake lines filled. That should finish the rear. I'll just need some finish welding done on the rear axle as well. So get that done. And we're looking pretty good here. Fuel systems is I'm going to take the tank out off the blue one because I'm going to a larger gas tank in it. So it's going to get a hand-me-down, which is going to set in this little spot right here. And my original plan was to exo cage this. I think given what I have to do yet in my time frame, that I'm not going to do the exo. I'll just do the inside hoop. And what I plan to do that is just a full hoop in here, bars, cross bars, and then I'll put stanchions that go up through the roof so I can add on the exo later. Also today, my expensive bump stop showed up. There you go. There's my bump stops. Box of hockey pucks. Stick around. We got more to come next week. Just join us then. Thanks for watching. We're out.